Chinese New Year, isn't it?
Yeah, Chinese New Year.
All right, welcome back, Lucy, over here, and have a seat, Lucy. Oh my God, let's give a high five.
Yeah, other music.
Yeah. So, wow, welcome back.
Yes.
And I heard that has a lot of things has gone for you, and also especially before the recording as well.
Yes.
Right. So how do you feel? Getting yourself moved just now.
Yeah, I feel slightly better.
Slightly better.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So if you were to describe, right, what is your feelings right now at this point? Coming here back again.
Coming back here again, I would say in the past 2 to 3 days that I start to think, oh shit, I need to come back. What can I share? Do I really achieve whatever I mentioned last time I need to do? So it's a bit of stress there.
A bit of stress about work, or is it about this conversation here?
I think it's about I mentioned something, did I really walk the talk? Yeah, so it's actually an integrity thing for me already.
So you mentioned something and then you actually execute it and you still uphold your integrity, right, itself, right? This is what we call the being impeccable with yourself, right? So, right, Lucy, midpoint, I kind of like have a check-in with you over the WhatsApp and want to know a little bit better, what actually happened, right? And I know there's a big win there for you, crossing the next milestone, but let's roll back to 2 weeks ago. So what happened since then, our last conversation?
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago, actually, we're talking about there is a guy, he moved to my team from another team. And then I mentioned I need to create the onboarding process all this for the new hires. So fast forward after 2 weeks, then I was kind of stressed. The first thing is I need to talk to my manager. And he said, oh yeah, that is something I want to do. Another thing is I actually, the new guy he joined, I actually also told him, oh yeah, you need to achieve on something. And if you can't achieve, then that is some consequences. And he know about that. So basically every day I need to have a check-in with him. I will share the highlights is for that guy. For the first week was still struggling. In the beginning of this week, he was also still. But about 2 days ago, I can tell his confidence level increased significantly. And suddenly something shifted.
Wow.
Yeah, within himself. And I was like, wow, that is very good. And I said, yeah, Lucy, I call more people. And then I realized that the way I talk is a bit too long. I also find, why I say so much. I was like, that's amazing.
That's amazing, isn't it? And he has gone into know a little bit more on the self-reflection, doing a post-mortem on himself and knowing what works and not work, which is what you wanted your team to, be self-sufficient. So that you can actually continue to lead them to rise to the next level. Wow. Right. So there's one part when you mentioned that you share with your a new initiative in your company, right? To do a little bit more systematic way, right? In one of the new initiatives they want to do for a company. So how has that been like?
Yeah, so the initiative is the onboarding process for APAC. I had a conversation with my manager. So I said, oh yeah, I'm actually working on this onboarding process. The first question he asked me, are you in operation team? Then I was like, no, but we don't have this thing. And then he looked at me. I was like, yeah, I asked the HR. As in, we do have something, but it's not as detailed as what I wanted. And he looked at me, that's true. There's something in a startup and environment. And he just let me to do whatever I want. So in the beginning, I was just, that's all. But after that, I slowly just allow the conversation. I realized, actually he trusted me enough to allow me to do this.
It's a big win there for you to actually cross over a milestone. And you reach to a milestone that, hey, let me take a step forward. And in fact, you have moved from, from here to somewhere. And it's a journey and you're gonna continue moving, right, Lucy? How do you feel being, at this current milestone? Getting what you want to implement, right? There's an impact that you create for the organizations, and also getting a team member to be self-sufficient. What does it What does all these things mean to you as a leader?
It actually means a lot of things because for very long period of time, I'm always an individual contributor as a sales term. And in the past, I always imagine, yeah, if I'm a manager, I won't do this and that. But while I'm in this role, then I realized it's not that easy. Yeah, it becomes a lot of things. It's not talking about I know how to do. It's how can I position the stuff and then allow the people around me to also recognize and also resonate.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing that. If I were to really summarize what Lucy just mentioned earlier on, it's not about what are the top 10 steps you need to do being a manager or being a team leader. It's about how to find an alignment with the team, alignment with yourself, which is very important, and also the team alignment, right? Because there is we always work with people, and it is something really, really important to take note of when we are working with people and to find an alignment. Otherwise, the team can't really form, right? So we're talking about formations here, right? So besides these realizations, what else is there?
What else is there? So that another thing is so I need to be really, really solid, and then I need to be very considerate at the same time. I think that is the word we always read in management books. But just an incident. So back to the guy, he joined the team. So I have a daily catch up with him, and that's the low lights for me as well. Because to the certain point that I kind of say, no, listen to me, follow my instruction. And then after that, he just apologized to me. Then I was, oh, sorry, I didn't mean this way. But that is also the part I start to think is that if I just give in and just be a very nice person, he is not learning. But if I'm being too rude, that is also bad. And I find this part of the balance, it becomes something I need to know how to.
Wow. So it's a balance itself, right? When must I be a little bit stricter? When can I be a little bit softer, right? So there's a balance to, leading the team itself, right? So what have you learned about yourself in these 2 weeks here?
I will say in these 2 weeks, the first thing is we need to increase the awareness. I need to pay lots of attention on the response from the signals, the messages. And sometimes if I'm tired, actually, I also need to make sure I say, okay, don't show it. Maybe I can go back home and then I go and figure that out on my own, or maybe speak with my manager, which he's a reliable person as well, for sure. Then another thing is I need to really talk to the people if they couldn't understand, and then I realized, that is the part, that is something I do need to prepare. So that come to the part, originally I only think about the onboarding process. And then slowly I realized, actually this is the part I also didn't do really well. So maybe that's the reason why people are not really aligned. So I need to create something that every different teams, eventually they can have something to follow, and then we can discuss.
Wow, there's a lot of, ongoing things in your current role as a team leader, Lucy. So, okay, let's roll back a little bit, having this success at this point. I know it's a short week, and I know that it's something may not be really seen as like, it's just a small matter. My boss approved my plan, right? It's a small matter. But we always want to celebrate the win. And that is actually a key booster for us to do more things later. Do you believe in that?
Yeah, I believe that.
So if I were to ask you to celebrate the win here with me, just now we had a little drum dance, right? So can I invite you to also stand up again one more time?
Okay.
Right?
Okay,
just follow the cue.
Okay.
If you were to really embody that winning self, and how does that look like? Take your time. No need to rush.
Okay.
Right?
So use my body to
feel that success. That little approval from your company to do this new onboarding process. And you do it on your people. And he has achieved some success.
Yeah.
Thank
you so much.
You feel like that?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's give you a high five there. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And let's keep standing a while. What's coming up in your body when you do this?
I just said, I'm so happy and excited. So it's the excitement.
The excitement,
Excitement.
Okay. Wow. And excitement for?
Excitement for partly is the trust from my manager, and partly is that, well, it seems whatever I learned and I think in the past, and maybe I can really put that into a real plan.
Wow.
Yeah. So don't know what's going on, but at least I have the first step already.
Wow. And?
Yeah. And then I will just continue to do that.
What else are you excited for?
I'm also actually quite excited for maybe some of the changes in the company. Because we will have a couple of new hires coming in Q1. Then how they will actually see the thing, and then how they maybe we can emerge into a culture faster as well.
Right. Can I give you a clue here?
Yeah.
The always one person, wherever we feel successful, we always credit to, my boss actually give me the approval, my organizations will do well, whatever things will do well, my team members will do well.
Yeah.
Acknowledge yourself too, Lucy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I need to acknowledge myself as well.
Acknowledge yourself too, because you're part of this success, isn't it?
Yes.
And we always want to give credit to other people.
Yes.
What about myself? I'm the one who do the work. I want to give myself a pat, yeah? Right, just give yourself a pat.
Give myself a pat.
Because exciting also for yourself to move on. And that's when you can get back to the booster. Right? And this is really important, that if you celebrate success, your life will change and your life will even move faster. And that's the spark that you need to create to move your life too. And I'm glad that we are on this conversation here. And it's very common when people just point the success outwards. People help me to make it successful. But how about myself? I take a step out. 2 weeks ago, you took a step out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Awesome there. Thank you, Lucy, for recognizing that. Now let's have a seat.
Okay.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Recognizing yourself. How do you feel at this point?
Wow. It's a kind of a mixed feeling. Sometimes I will tell myself, I need to be humble, cannot let my ego to take over me. But sometimes I also realize that, I do need to recognize myself, otherwise I'll get resentful as well. So again, it's back to the balance thing. I mentioned just now.
What's coming out for you? Your face shifted when I mentioned that.
Yeah, just...
what about you? What about you?
I just feel that... a lot of time while we're talking about self-care and self-love, we will just say, okay, maybe I just do some external stuff. Or currently I do a lot of like meditation, all this. But sometimes it's just to the point that I will also forget to really connect deeper with myself on the part that, I need to acknowledge myself, because at the moment, I think it's in the early stage for me to be a leader leading a small team. And then that is the part I always think, how can I do better for other people? How people... So while other people getting more successful, I'm quite happy about that.
Wow.
And kind of at that moment, I will just do I do good enough? How can I be better? So
it's always that we have always done something that is very good enough at that point of time, based on what we know. Right, based on our decisions that we make. And that decision could lead to something more. You never know, right? Maybe your organizations will adopt this onboarding and then they do it globally. Or maybe your team will start to grow a lot more bigger and then more sales coming in, right? That actually is more like a side effect of you giving back to yourself first, acknowledging every small steps so that we can actually move, right? I always talk about, this Rising with Charlene here is a movement that sparks life. You gotta move, you gotta create that spark. And this is the moment of creating the spark here with Lucy. And I hope that you caught it. And let me ask you this question here. What has been sparkling in your life that you've forgotten to take a look at it? That shiny things, even though it's so seemingly small that you may not want to really acknowledge it, why don't you give yourself a pat and acknowledge yourself? Put down in the comment below what has been sparkling in your life that you've forgotten to take a look at it in a way that sparks your life move forward, basically. Right. Thank you, Lucy, for sharing these learning lessons. I just want to draw it out for the audience so that they can actually, through these conversations, learn about one or two things about themselves too. Right?
Yep.
Wow. Thank you so much. Give yourself a pat. Okay. And give you a high five.
Thank you.
Okay, so next questions, Just now you mentioned that there's a lot more things that's coming up for you. So what's up with that?
What's up with that? So originally it's more like in my own small team. And then of course we have an extended team. So I also noticed that in the extended team, while our business is actually getting more and more, a lot of things actually will get more and more external support. So how can I do external alignment with the extended team from our headquarters? So to make sure people will buy in. But at the same time, I need to also think about themselves, their workload. So the alignment, that is also the part, since 2 days ago, I started to planning and thinking, how to do all this thing.
So it's more like for the roles and responsibility that is related to your job role currently, right? So how about, if you were to bring in the lesson learned at this point of time, what would be the next one? Or the next thing in your life or in your professional life that you would like to embark on?
I guess it's something slightly not completely related. But that is something is I always care about the people, and I only got the realization like last week. I do a lot of things because of my family. Because I want to give a better environment and support my family. And that is the part I spend effort to be more and more professional to get a better support to the entire family. And while I'm speaking with other people, it just tie back to last week, 2 weeks ago I mentioned, why the people, they work very hard and what exactly do they need to achieve. And I noticed this type of conversation is kind of lacking or is not very common nowadays. No matter it's in your professional life or in the personal life. People will just say, oh yeah, what's next? Business is good, which I don't like.
It's like, money is good, time is good, it's like fame, power is good, and they just chase towards that, So what share a little bit more detail in terms of how do they take a look at their life, I would say like more holistically, or is it the right word, or more well-rounded? How do you define that, for yourself?
I actually define that is, do I really align with my own intention and the objective for my life for the period of time? So for example, definitely there was a long period of time I was very lost. I don't know why I'm working so hard for, because mentioned my father passed away. So I was avoiding by working very, very hard. But in this a couple of weeks, it happened is I reconnect back. I do so many things. It's just because I really want to have a good support to my family. And the family is talking about my mom, my siblings, and my niece and nephew. And all this thing, it actually meant the most for me. So only while I reconnect to that, then I will start to think, how do I do my work in more efficient and effective way? So I make sure that I don't work overtime like before, that I don't know until what time. But I make sure that I have a conversation with my mother every week.
Does that look like a good support to you? Like having a good conversation with your mom? Like what else does a good support look like? Because you mentioned you want a lot of good support for your family there,
so in the past it's like mandatory or material, but now the good support is like 2 ways. So for example, that I will actually emotionally support my mother because she's living alone.
Okay, that's a good support.
Then but she knows the daughter, even she's away, but she's always connected.
Right.
Another thing is my mother also start to realize that, I really need to take care of my mental and physical health, because I also have a kid and they love me a lot. So I need to make sure I take care of myself. Then on the other hand, actually I get the support and I feel very, very touched and happy.
It's a two-way support, right? It's when you talk about support, previously you say that it's all monetary, very material, or in a way that says that it's dollar and cents. So then right now the support has shifted into more like, you want that connection with mom, and you want mom to be connected with you too. So it's a two-way kind of conversation here with your mother, right? Wow, that's a huge shift there, Lucy. And in order for this support to, have a long-lasting result and also long-lasting outcome, what do you need to do currently in order for that to happen in your own life?
Yeah, in my own life, I noticed one thing is that I do really need to, again, I mentioned a lot recently about really the intention and then the integrity. These two become very important. So I can say I have this intention, I want to support my family, which is for me, but other people have something else. But do I really walk the talk? The integrity become very important.
Wow.
Yeah, and so recently I spend a lot of time and say, oh yeah, I say this, do I really do that? If I say something else, but I couldn't make it, then I would rather don't say. So I become more careful in terms of the way I share on my action. I think more actually.
You think first and then you decide, right?
Yes.
There's a decision point that you make,
Yes.
and then subsequently you set an intention and fulfill that integrity, right? So it's and then after that, you kind of like shifted from this side to next step.
Yes.
Right, so it just remind me about a couple of months back when I asked you about this Coming Here Rising with Charlene show, right? I was thinking, okay, maybe Lucy will be interested, so let me ask her. So I have an intention to have you have the conversations here. So then you make a decision. You came in here and you set your intentions for your work, for your team, for your organizations, and subsequently you make that happen. So you fulfilled your integrity there. It is the same thing for building relationship as well with your mom, right? Says that, Mom, I'm going to call you tonight. Make sure you call tonight and have a more fruitful conversation rather than like hi-bye, right? So it's making connection works. And that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Okay. It really, really works for me. And it actually, from my mother and with myself, and then I manifest it with other people. So I have a tendency that I always play my phone, like the modern people. Yeah, so even
play your phone,
eating,
like,
I'm
my
playing
God,
my phone.
my phone. People there is never mind.
So I try. I cannot completely say 100%. I don't, but I actually reduce the frequency. I put more attention. Yeah, while I'm speaking with people, I use the coaching skill that I learned, like active listening, all these things.
So it's helpful, right, to build that people connection so that we can give support to people, right? And it's only through connections that we can give support. So otherwise, it will be just really material. It's easy, right? Bank transfer done. you know what I mean? It's sometimes people need the support beyond that monetary thing. That that is super cool there, right? And then this is also what I actually truly believe in. People connections actually, we can learn a lot of things and for ourselves and with that relationship here. Right, because you and I know each other for almost 10 years plus, almost 10 years soon. And I recall back how we meet each other and how we progress our friendship. And then right now, we are in different areas of our life and different work zone as well. But we are still quite connected because we keep that momentum ongoing. And there's a frequency there. And imagine that 5 years ago only I met you and then I ask you, hey Lucy, do you want to come on to the Rising with Charlene? Would you come?
I think it will be quite different.
The conversation will be very different. So I'm actually glad that you come on to play on this stage here with me.
Thank you so much.
Wow. So what have you learned about today's conversations, or even like bring back to the 2 weeks ago until now? What have you learned about this entire Rising with Charlene conversation?
I enjoy, to be honest, is why not? It's kind of fun for me. But while you told me, you really need to do your work. And I was, okay. So in 2 weeks is like, I noticed and learned one thing is I have this tendency to do some irrelevant stuff. So for example, I'm supposed to do something. I think, okay, let me do something else. Then I download video game to play suddenly.
Play phone again.
Play your phone again. There's a connect. So I do have this type of tendency. And that is a part I noticed, maybe that is something actually like you mentioned in the beginning, self-acknowledgement. But I barely acknowledge myself. Then I would just do something else to like avoid, to facing the thing I need to acknowledge myself. And then you become part of like, I can zoom out because the game is kind of brainless. So that is, I think the key learning is, I guess I learned really in this 2 weeks in the episode is the importance of balancing. Yeah, because I have the tendency to go things quite extreme.
Okay.
Yeah, either just just do everything, or just I don't do anything.
Okay,
yeah.
So you find that sweet spot.
Yes.
And okay, we didn't really talk much about that sweet spot just now. What is that sweet spot you found actually? Like in these 2 weeks, what is that one thing that, okay, maybe like a factor or success factor that's contributing to that sweet spot? The balance point, yeah.
I would say in these 2 weeks, again, it still like the connection. The success factors for me is really on the connections with others and with myself. Because outside of my corporate world, in my personal life, I also have a life coach. Yeah, and she actually will just always remind me and say, connect back with yourself. And to a point that now, a few days ago, she asked me one question and just leave me alone. And I managed to connect with myself deeper and deeper. And I know I have this capacity and capability, but you just, a lot of time I would just, okay, I don't want to go so deep on my own. So the support like a friend or coach or even family, they just, if I just tell me, hey, this is I will know how to do
This is the thing you need to do, right? So it's like a guidance from others. Does this conversation help?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So because I'm curious, you mentioned that this is like a normal, it could look like a normal day-to-day operational job for your roles and responsibility in the organization. And you took the leap to make that happen in the last 2 weeks. If this conversation didn't happen, how long would you think you would take?
I think drag until end of this year. I have the ability to drag forever.
How many of you have the ability? This is not a disability. Ability to drag things for a very long time.
Yeah, because I have a friend, he cannot drag and he cannot chill. He will just do everything I want to do. Yeah, it's a life and death for him. But for me, it's if I can drag, I'll just drag.
Wow. Okay, I'm just making a comparison. Instead of a year, you complete your task in 2 weeks. Yes. And imagine with the support of someone, means like connect back yourself and get support from people. And you can complete so many more things in a 2 weeks to come.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? 52 weeks, 27 weeks in a year. Every 2 weeks you complete one thing.
Yeah.
And how amazing that would be.
Yeah, then next year I will be completely different for sure.
Okay. Wow, that's a learning point there, right?
Yes.
When you have the ability to drag things, make sure you look for help. Don't try to DIY because I've seen many clients already. Let me do it on my own. Right? Let me find time to do it first. I'm like, okay, we have the time here. Let's do this thing here right now. Right? So if you don't make the decision to do it, and very likely that, okay you're gonna drag a year, and you make the decision to do it, right? When like what you say, come on here, you gotta do work, right? And I'm hopefully when you're watching this, you gotta do work as well, because that's the whole point, right? And if we don't move, and then how do we find the sparkling, stars that you want to see in your life, right? Wow. That's another learning point that I'm learning from you as well, from your own journey. So what's next in the next 2 weeks for you? Just 2 weeks, small thing.
In the next 2 weeks is actually really on the thing I mentioned. I want to work with the extended team. So my company have so many teams and globally everywhere. And how can I, in a more structural way, to help everyone to get alive? Because I can tell, because of the workload, things are actually slowly falling apart here and there. And then my boss always asks, are you on the ball? And I realized it seems I'm really the only one on the ball. And so I would say, if I do that, maybe I can do it extend. Extend.
So because you say that work with the external team, right? There's many teams in the region. What needs to happen when you work with the extended team? Take an example, a meeting, a phone call, or an email. I don't know how you guys function.
So we do have meetings and phone call. Why I'm kind of stuck here for a while is because we try all these things. We have weekly meeting, we have phone call. But I noticed one thing is again is the global team, they have so many things, and so at the end is for the APAC part, that is only part of their work. So how can I just say, oh yeah, we are the priority here. Hello. So I do need to let them to see the value, and I need to help them to. This I think I have to maybe also help them to make their life easier. So as simple as maybe I even create a channel on the project management, or maybe just an Excel talk checking the stuff. It helps that already. Yeah, but it's just because it's very manual, lots of paperwork. So I'm trying to see what else can we do apart from the meeting. But at least the first thing again is maybe by using some of the technology, or maybe just basically use Excel. It can help in your build already.
So that's the technology part. The people part, the willingness from the heart, and you still got to have a conversation with them.
I don't know.
So wow, there's something new to come up to actually expand this initiative here.
Yeah, and that is already not in the same culture, same time zone.
I get it, right? There will be challenges, right?
Yes.
But like you say earlier on, you have this intention, right? You do the work, things will start to roll, and you start to move.
Yes.
And then you celebrate the next success. Remember that. Pat yourself. I'll talk to 10 teams, and then, for example, I'll talk to 10 teams, and then like 7 actually are willing to be on board with me. Yes, and then celebrate that. So that is super, super important. Okay. Wow. So at this point itself, right, I want to charge you forward, right, before we end this conversation here. Let's have you kind of like sit here for a while, really have that anchor in that intention for a while for the next week for yourself. Whether it's a work or whether it's a life itself, and there's many things that we are doing. Take a moment to really, like what you say, connect back to yourself. So, and sit like you are meaning, you sit like you have the intention to actually do the work for the next 2 weeks for yourself. You want to sit up and
let me think. Let me feel.
Get into your body a little bit, because you know, body movement actually sparks life, and that's when the movements start to come. You can't really sit down here and think until hopefully things will happen, right? It doesn't work that way. And I hope that all this can help you as well, as Lucy is getting herself into her body and set the intention right. Using the body to help you to really move it, right? You can do any movement if you feel the urge to actually do that.
Yeah, I kind of understand why I need to download the stupid game. My position is really like this. But my brain is actually thinking about something.
Your brain is thinking something, your hand is doing this. That's why you're using the game. So now, with that intention, we still need there's a movement there for you to think about something. We use the body to move, to set an intention forward for the next 2 weeks for you, so that you can have that enough energy to boost and charge forward. So now you realize that I need the game so that my fingers can move, so that my brain can think. You see, there's a movement here. But you're kind of like not looking at the game, right? There's a part of our brain intelligently looking at the game, how it's played, but the other side of your brain is looking at some other strategic planning work. Okay, let's have you use the same movement. If you were to really set a movement here right now, so that you can repeat the movement without wasting half of your brain juice for the game. Multitasking doesn't work, okay? Trust me about that. And how would that movement look like? And so that you can use back the same movement forward. You want to stand up, you want to sit down, it's up to you. Right? If you want to stretch your arms, and yes, I want to do this, also can. I'm just giving you some examples here.
Yeah, I think it's really on the finger. Just
on the finger. Okay.
Yeah, just like
let's do this. Let me have my cushion here as well. So let's do this. So it's like that.
Yeah, you feel like I'm typing, but it is actually my brain is like this. Is like
your
a piano.
Brain is okay.
It's kind of like a piano. So there's some melody with
there's something is moving on you. Yeah. So it's like, I'm thinking, okay, next 2 weeks I need to speak to this team, that team.
Yeah.
And I said, get into that movement. Just get into the movement for a while.
Yeah. So it's really like
like that. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's really on this. So I get some rhythm in my mind. Okay. Yeah. I have a tendency to do this since I was a kid.
That's nice.
yeah.
That means to say that the song just now was really something really nice to trigger off.
Yeah, it's a bum 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 bum.
How fun is that, right? Through the movement, that's how she was going to move the next 2 weeks. And yes, wow, thank you for this conversation.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Any last word that you would like to share with the audience, to also charge them forward? Let's look at the camera.
I will tell the audience.
I'll tell you.
Tell myself?
No, tell them. Tell them.
Okay.
Let's have you share your wisdom here right now in however way that you would like to share, so that our audience here, watching here, can learn something from you too.
So I would say we are all parts of the ocean. Even though maybe we think we are the drop of water, but we are still parts of the ocean. So don't underestimate our energy and effort. If we just be ourselves, we do our part, things will actually start to change, and then it become the ocean. So I want to end up with a story I listened from the Disney animation.
Story.
So the story is interesting. Is that there is a small fish and go to ask the big fish, where is the ocean? And then big fish look at the small fish and say, you are in the ocean. It's quite deep. It took me a while to understand, but it just mean like what I try to share is even though you think you are in somewhere else, you want to do something, but as long as you can start to take the action immediately at this moment, you are actually already in the bigger picture and things will start to unfold.
I'm seeing things unfolding in your life too.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
加油.
Yes.
Right. Thank you for watching here. We'll see you in the next episode very soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.